how can the River Father's voice help you? Let me see. Holy Great Mother! Now I understand! Oh, Great River Father, why draw me into your dispute with the Fathomless One? How can we mortals withstand his fury? Forgive me. My feelings overcame me. Only now do I understand the consequences of your actions. This artifact opens the doors to the temple. Since this place was destroyed in a feud between the two gods, Etherd's fury has seethed in its depths. The old god has never forgotten the humiliation visited upon him by the River Father. The anger of the ocean god is like a relentless maelstrom. It swallows everything, even the brightest light, and spits it out again as darkness. This darkness climbs from the depths of the temple and poisons the river. It lures foul monsters that mock the power of the River Father in his own realm. Yes, like the Kraken newt. I know that humans had started to use it for their own dark purposes, but in the end, they were also just tools of Etherd's vengeful fury. The first time I saw you in Nadaret, I knew your actions were linked to the will of the gods. I just did not know what role you would play. But now I believe it is your destiny to enter the temple. Maybe you can assuage some of the anger and pain that lurks in this place and defiles the river. I will use the fragment to open the temple. The second artifact you carry may also have a role to play. But you must go alone. I cannot intervene here. You must find your way into the deep and confront that which awaits you. I can tell you no more, I'm sorry. I can only thank you for your valor. And now, follow me.
Dares to enter these halls? Vroga undia.
Wait, I beg of you. Look at me, Narog. Don't you recognize me?
Darog, is it really you?
Leave the darkness of this place and follow me to the eternal flame, my brother.
Finally, you have found me. I have endured here in the darkness for an eternity. Alone with my rage and my despair, my hatred soaks every stone of this place. But I shall remain in the darkness no longer. It binds me no longer. I am free.
May you find peace now, my brother. Thank you. I am deeper in your debt than I will ever be able to repay. I know I owe you an explanation. This place was the object of my soul quest. The soul spark of my dead twin brothers was trapped here. Finally, he is free. I am sorry I couldn't tell you the entire truth. But the oath that binds me to the River Father also prevented me from becoming involved. I could only trust in your heroism. Well, I did intervene, but to create peace, not to fight. But I could only free my brother's soul spark once you had contained the evil. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. Narok was my twin brother. As you may know, the bond between twins is very close among us Angroshim. It is almost as if we share a soul. We grew up in Toshmur, the place the humans know as Woodwatch. Side by side, we delved in the mines of Lur. We knew great happiness when we struck a new vein of ore. We drove the shaft ever deeper into the mountain until, for the first time in our lives, we came into disagreement. Narog warned caution, but I urged him to dig ever deeper. One day, Narog suddenly noticed small fragments of stone falling from the roof of the shaft. As quick as a flash, he pushed me into a side tunnel, but then the mountain came down on him. Half the tunnel had caved in. I burrowed frantically with bare hands and bleeding fingers, but all I found was his lifeless body. His soul spark had already departed, but I knew it had not been extinguished completely. As long as I also lived, it would wander without finding peace. From that day, I knew only one goal: to guide my brother's soul spark home to Angrosh. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. I cannot say, but since the days of the Great Flood, this place has been filled with the rage of effort. My brother's soul spark and the anger of the old god may have transformed one of the crabs here into that monster, but that is just conjecture. No, all thanks must go to you, and I deeply regret that I could not tell you the entire truth. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. Yes, I will tell you my tale. You know me as the voice of the River Father, but before that, I followed my calling as a geode and served Sumu, the Great Mother. I lost my brother before we could take the baptism of fire together. The bond between us was therefore so strong that I barely survived the loss. So I placed myself under the care of a Shepherd of Souls. Shepherd of Souls is the name we Angroshim give to a geode. Even more than the art of magic, I learned to understand the pain surrounding my brother, and it was to him that I dedicated my decision to care for all of Sumu's creation. All geodes share the fate of having lost a twin brother, and we all know that the soul spark of our dead twin is not lost, but wanders Ethra without rest. To find and guide that soul back to Angrosh's eternal flame is the burning desire of every Shepherd of Souls. We call this goal the Soul Quest. Eventually, I was able to track Narog's soul to this temple, but Effort's rage had trapped him here. It seemed impossible to reach Narog. I despaired, but then the River Father began to speak to me. He promised to help me to get into the temple if I would spread his word along the banks of the great river. Several divine cycles have passed since then, but he kept his promise, as you can see. And I have learned to value his wisdom. After all, he is one of the oldest of Sumu's children. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. Effort's rage still fills the temple. This place will remain a threat until the dispute between the Ocean God and the River Father abates. Therefore, I shall continue to watch over it. As the gods are not known to settle their quarrels particularly quickly, I expect to spend the rest of my life here. But I do not mind. I like it here. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. Without doubt, the temple's dire influence drew those vile creatures to the great river. But it is strange that they also served as guardians of the key artifacts. It may be that Efford wanted the temple to be opened. Maybe it is the first step in a reconciliation with the River Father. But the ways of the gods are mysterious. Yes, all this must be very confusing for you. Ask your questions. You deserve the answers. Yes, your work here is done, but there is always a need for heroes along the banks of the great river. May the River Father bless you and guide you in your future deeds. Here, take my cudgel as reward. It may not look like much, but there is more to it than meets the eye, as with so many things in Sumu's creation. Do not argue. It is my heart's desire that you take it. Nobody is more worthy. Let us leave this place to its silence. Perhaps one day that silence will become peace. If you wish, I can lead you back out. Very well. Let us go.
Welcome to Thurstone. Please, tell us the name of your ship. I didn't see it when you docked. The Thalaria. Then you're very welcome. Commandant von Herring wishes to speak with you as soon as you have finished docking. You will find him in the outer ward. The Thalaria is exempt. Special orders from the Commandant.
Well, I'll be a ship's kobold. What a surprise to see you again. You've obviously recovered from the ambush. Pete didn't fancy your chances. I'm sure you've finished your training, right? Congratulations. But you're probably busy with other matters by now. So what can I do for you? I just got back from Elvenhus and have a few goods here. Since we need to wait for the tollkeepers anyway, why not take a look? As inquisitive as ever, eh? Ask away. We had to continue on our journey in order to deliver our goods on time. Fortunately, we avoided any more ambushes, but the shock of that night still haunts me. Do you want to know anything else? Oh, all kinds of crazy things. Just ask Jana. Great Fuldegar alone knows how much truth there is to them. Or maybe you do. Do you want to know anything else? I guess you know enough yourself now. That's good. Can I do anything else for you? You won't be disappointed. See for yourself.
Is it really you? You look like someone out of Pete's Traveler's Tales. It's so good to see you again. Do you know what? Pete and I met an elf in a snow-white dress near Drift. She wanted to help Pete with his sore knee, but he drove her off with his nagging. But I'm sure you've seen even more exciting things. Oh, I really should stop talking, otherwise Pete will get mad again.
Learned your lesson, did you? I warned you about all that trouble, but you needed the anger of the River Father hammered into your head before you understood. You still doubt my words? You're even more stubborn than little Jana.
Naughtle, finally. Forgive me. I thought you were my apprentice. Oh dear, oh dear. This man just appeared on the dock with a pile of crates. He says he's the dean of a magic academy, so we're trying to be as respectful as possible.
But whenever we ask him something, he just starts talking about someone called Naughtle. I don't think he even exists.
Oh, that's an interesting theory, my young friend. Are you also familiar with Galotta's commentary on Philosophica Magica? According to which we are all just imaginary figments dreamt up by alien beings? Quite right. In his treatise, Galotta also says that Ethra and the cosmos actually only exist as ideas and can therefore be changed at any time. Worrying, don't you think? At that time, the colleague believed it was the gods who dreamed our world. But really, there's no reason why it couldn't be me, for example. An interesting concept, I think. Do you mind if I ask your name, incidentally? One wants to know. One whom has imagined, eh? Maybe you could look for Noddle for me, yes? Please tell him that I need him here, urgently. He's probably forgotten the time again. Absent-minded boy that he is. Well, I did tell him about those old witch stones up there. Very powerful. Good for sphere travel and blood magic.
You mean that stone circle in the northeast? I've been there. It's an eerie place.
Yes! It's the kind of thing that interests young people. No wonder Noddle has been away so long. But of course, questions are the keys to wisdom. What do you want to know? That? Oh, these are traveling supplies and the other things, of course. Ask Noddle, he packed it. Oh, I am Dean Recorium Montagonus. yes, that's me. No questions? To become a master, you must never stop. What did you say again?
Hello. What a pleasure to meet budding heroes. I am Prancelot of Scufflewick. And why shouldn't I be in a good mood? I have returned from a successful quest and I had a good beer. What more could I want? Barely worth mentioning. I rescued a magical unicorn from a couple of orcs. I was strolling along when my carefully trained ears heard a suspicious sound. I turned around, and bang! There it was. I saw a unicorn surrounded by 6 hungry orcs. Their horrid bellies rumbled like thunder, and they wielded clubs the size of trees. They approached, swinging their clubs. I surrounded them. Heroes like me are so fast that they can surround enemies on their own. I drew the circle ever tighter until all 20 orcs started to fight among themselves and killed each other. Meanwhile, the unicorn escaped to the famous magic circle. The famous stone circle in the east. Occasionally, very precious magical items appear there. The two-handed sword Six was discovered there. It slays a giant in a single stroke. Of course, my winged helm also comes from there. It makes my enemies tremble and fair ladies blush. When I caught up with the unicorn, I found a delicate ankle chain with a stone in the form of a drop of blood. The leg of he who wears the chain is rendered invulnerable. Why I left it there, of course. It would have been disrespectful to the unicorn to plunder the stones. Story? Pah! If you don't believe me, then go to the stone circle and see for yourself.
Are you lost, traveler? Ah, so you cleaned up the toll gate. As an officer, I find your methods suspect, but Duke Groen thanks you. May I make a suggestion? It's about the river pirates. They must be stopped. I am authorized to pay a bounty for every pirate. You would be perfect for this job. That would be desirable. But due to the services you have already rendered, I'm prepared to trust your good name. Just bring me the pirates' emblems. You'll get 5 silver thalers for every silver emblem. They say the pirate leaders wear solid gold emblems. I can give you a special reward for those. Fine, but make it quick. A citizen, a certain Lucia, recently brought a sealed letter to Duke Groen's court. I then received orders to occupy his fortress with my men. Was there anything else? Just a moment, I have a special request for you. This must remain confidential. A certain Lucia told me how helpful you were. She also mentioned your tact. You seem perfect for this delicate matter. My nephew Hubert, the useless brat, is shirking his duties as a soldier. He thinks the rules don't apply to him. He just spends the whole time reading a book. Unfortunately, his parents are from a noble family, so I can't discipline him like a normal soldier. I need you to bring me the book to put an end to this nonsense. You'll find a way. He's usually somewhere near the river, dreaming his days away.
Who? Who are you? Leave me alone. I don't feel like talking to you. You know about it? I bet my uncle sent you to take it away from me. Tell him I'm not interested in his miserable guard duty. That boring beetle? All he talks about is duty and order. But he's just trying to suck up to my parents. He knows nothing about the things that are really important. My point of view? I want him to leave me alone. This book talks about things 100 times more important than the everyday stupidity around here. Yes, you're right. I have to experience everything in real life, not just in my imagination. Here, take the book. When I'm adventuring, I won't need it anymore.
Hello, you there? Could you help me, please? I appear to be stuck here. Oh, you've already spoken with Master Ricorium? Yes, I'm his apprentice. I'm actually called Ungfred, not Naughtle. The Master just seems to find it easier to call me that, I guess. Well, Naughtle was the name of Master Ricorium's first apprentice. And to make things easier, that's just what he calls all his apprentices now. He's a little... his duties as Dean mean he's a very busy man. Well, I wanted to take a look at this stone circle. The Compendium of Miraculous Stones describe it as an unusual specimen. It resembles the work of dwarven geodes, but it's much older. I noticed some strange magical traps on the way here. Obviously some type of contained transversalis. The stone circle itself seems to have a powerful magical aura. Very strange. I cast an Analytica spell on the stones, and it must have caused some kind of feedback. Now the arcane currents have trapped me here. Are you still listening? Praise be to the Mother of Wisdom. I wasn't even sure he would notice I was gone. Could you help me? Otherwise I'll be standing here all night. There's some kind of magical matrix between these stones that won't let me leave. You have to find a way to interrupt the flow of magical energy. I think the source of the energy is somewhere below the stone circle. I saw a cave on the way here. Maybe you'll find something there. Unfortunately, the entrance looked like it was blocked. But I'm sure Master Ricorium can help you with that. He's an expert in transformation magic. Please, go and ask him to help you. Go to the cave and look for the source of the magic and try to cut it off.
Did you get the book from that useless boy? You can keep that rubbish. What would I want with it? I just wanted to make sure he didn't have it. Maybe now he'll come to his senses. Well, things can only get better. My thanks for your help. Here, take a few coins for your troubles. Was there anything else?
Oh, there you are again. Did you find Naughtle? Oh, that's good. Yes. Where is he then? Is he with you?
Sorry, but you can't just leave. You have to declare your goods.
Oh, that's right. These two gentlemen wanted to discuss something with me. Then I shall have to stay here. It's only polite. Can't you go and free him? How is he trapped? Beneath? Now, to break the bonds, you just need to disrupt the power at the source. To do that, you must get to the source of the magical energy. Blocked? Oh, I know that from my expeditions. Here, take this. It really works wonders on mineral manifestations of every type. It may need several applications.
What? Who are you? What are you doing down here? Did he send you? Ha! I knew he had allies. That must be how he sabotaged our ritual. One of his people must have meddled with the stones up above. He's been trying to thwart me ever since the ritual was interrupted. He's using every means possible to stop me completing it. He's constantly hiding the components. Don't believe his lies. It's obvious he is not to be trusted. You should help me find the ingredients. I am Maruameir I Elburum, mage and researcher of arcane secrets. The ritual I began must be ended. He must not succeed. He was once my companion, but now he shows his true face. He is evil and unscrupulous to the core. He wants nothing more than to destroy me. He must not achieve his goal. No time. I must continue. Bring the ingredients to me when you have them. I shall wait for you in the cave beneath the stone circle. And be careful. I'm sure he's laid traps. Transversalis! Halt! I know that you're helping that weakling by looking for the components for the ritual. Forget that pathetic worm. From now on, you shall obey my will. I am the master here. My name is Rewarum the Dark. Everything in this cave serves my power. If you serve me, I shall richly reward you. I have the power to grant your wishes. Oppose me, and I shall destroy you. Collect the components from the surrounding rooms and bring them to the center of the place of ritual. I shall wait for you there. Transversalis. Wait, I must speak with you, while that pathetic creature is elsewhere. The moment of decision has come. The other one is weak. I have the power to reward you richly. Give me the components. Then I shall smash you. You and the weakling. No one shall stop me. Transversalis. Have you found the components? There are 5. Yes, good. Now I can end the ritual. I can atone for what? No! The ritual will be completed, as we agreed. If I hadn't listened to you, pathetic fool, I would have succeeded long ago. We should have played truly deadly traps. Our ritual would never have been interrupted. Your weakness held us back. You there, give me the components. I shall end it now. No, I will stop you. You, please, place the components for me. The sequences, the book, you must consult the book. But you must change it. The notes, here in my pocket. You have to, Listen to that fool. Place the components. Use the book. Complete the ritual. I will ensure that this pathetic presence no longer disturbs the ritual. Tell me when the ingredients are arranged. Have you arranged the components? My patience is running out. Did you get the order right? A mistake would have serious consequences for your friend up there. Good. So be it then. Potentia infinita. Satanav. Elemental power. Vita eterna. Power of the spears. Soul split. It is done. I feel the transformation. Just one more moment and... Thanks be to Hisin, he is gone! Some things shouldn't be shared. As old Rohal said, when you stare deep into your soul, eventually it stares back. Very clever of you to arrange the components in the opposite sequence. That reversed the ritual. The stones above ground are no longer charged with magical energy. If you're interested, you obviously have a good understanding of magical processes. Here, take this ring. It's very helpful when engaged in magical matters. Well, I think I'll dedicate my time to different research in future. Maybe I'll go back to dissecting small animals. Maybe big ones. Farewell. Transversalis teleport.
Hello! Thank you for saving me. When I felt the magical powers abating, I went straight back to Master Brachorium. Now I need to deal with the Toll Keepers. The two guards look quite shaken up. Speak to my master again. He's sure to reward you, if he recognizes you.
Aha! You're back again! And there's, Nortle! Oh, thank you, Cinder! I thought I'd have to get another one. Yes. Well, shall we be on our way? This time, we should make it to Havina. I hope Prince Benane won't be too annoyed by the delay. Get ready then, and...
But Master, what about our research material? Surely we can't just leave it here.
Oh, yes. We should take that with us, shouldn't we? Come along then, Nortle. Transversalis!
Wait a moment, Master. I still need to thank these people for saving me. Here, this might come in handy on your travels. You just need to be careful that...
Teleport!
Looks like that's settled then, doesn't it?
Yes. No traveler, no toll. Seems pretty clear to me. Come on, let's go for an ale. Ah, there you are again. Allow me to introduce my guest. This is the Honorable Alwina Neisbeck.
Pleased to meet you. Angwar has told me a lot about you.
Yes, Madame Neisbeck is one of the most respected ladies in all Furdok and urgently requires help. You seem to be the best for the job.
Oh, Angwar, don't be so formal with me. Please finish your conversation. There'll be plenty of time for my request.
An unusual lady, isn't she? What can I do for you?
Thank you for taking the time to listen to my request. My poor brother has fallen into the hands of those villainous pirates. We can't afford the ransom those criminals are demanding. My family and I are desperate. I want to deal directly with the pirates. Maybe they'll show some pity when I explain our situation. I heard that you might be able to help me find the pirates.
Fair lady, I bow before your courage. But as a man of honor and a knight, I cannot allow you to put yourself in such danger. Allow me and my companions to free your brother.
Oh, this is too generous of you, sir.
Ardo of Boarstock.
Oh, so it's you. Well, many thanks, Sir Boarstock. I am moved by your chivalry. But I'd still rather try on my own. If you could just show me the way?
What? A lady like you? Defenseless among that pack of ruffians? By my honor, I cannot permit this. I wish we had more men. Then we'd finish that scum once and for all.
Yes, it is regrettable that we are forced to take such measures, but don't worry, I will take care. Could you tell me where to find their camp? Thank you, I will. Goodbye, Angmar. Adieu.
Just a moment. I'm not very happy about the idea of this young lady being at the mercy of that pirate scum, and in my jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I cannot spare any of my men. But someone should look for Madame Neisbeck at the pirate camp and make sure she's safe. Do you think you could do it? I'd feel much happier. Well, think about it, and good luck on your travels.
Neisbeck woman, be silent! You sent this reptile to me?
Yes, the uncertain fate of my brother. Captain Thunderfist has been very uncooperative, even though I've done my best to appeal to her common sense.
Lightning take you! Do you ever stop talking, woman? Get out of my sight!
And she calls herself a pirate leader. I won't waste any more of my time on you, Elif Thunderfist, but pray to your holy whale that you never cross me again.
You can smell people like her a mile off, even upwind, and even among liars, thieves, and pirates. She wanted to make a deal to get rid of her competition, and she wants her little brother dead. As sure as Sorman is dead, he must have wanted to pocket the ransom himself. Take a look in his hut in the southwest. Oweena's brother should be freed.
Huh? What are you doing here? Just a minute. You just did Sorman in. You'll regret that. Come on, boys, attack!
Are you another lackey of that nefarious Iron Taste? Do the gods plan my end? Praise be to Tsar. Many of my companions have died at his hand. I feared to hear Golgari's wings myself, but my prayers were answered. What? Owena is here? I had already escaped 2 of her bounty hunters, but now I'm a prisoner here. Please, by the gods, help me. When my father, may he rest in peace, handed the business over to us, he had Leonardo the Mechanicus create 2 music boxes. But Elwina doesn't like to share. She wants sole control. Give her my timepiece and tell her I'm dead. If the gods wish it, I will escape. My life is worth more to me. I can only recommend that you stay away from her. She is completely unscrupulous. Thank you. Farewell. I am fortunate indeed to have met such an honorable and generous savior. I thank you, and I hope to repay this debt one day. May the 12 gods be with you.
Oh, you again. Listen, my patience is at an end. Anyone who gets rid of my brother once and for all will be richly rewarded, understood? The rest is up to you. Really? Yes. It must be true. I had my doubts about hiring you, but you have earned your reward. Here, I think this should be appropriate. And now, farewell.
Did you find the nice Beck brother? Ha ha! Well done! We value freedom like the wind, not like slave traders and their blood money. Come, drink with me! To freedom! Cheers!
Finally got here. Something's going on. The harbour master is gathering a crowd of strange figures around him, and is taking them into the dark forest.
The harbour master's why we're here.
I don't know where they're all disappearing to. I've already reported it to Gerlin and Furdock, and I'm waiting for his answer. Really? Doesn't look good. I can take you to the spot where they slip into the woods. Then you only have to follow them.
If we are going into the castle, I'm definitely going to go along. We should be well equipped for this final step.
Tell me when we're supposed to get started.
Yes? The treasonous Baron doesn't deserve to enrich himself that way any longer. If we are skillful in helping ourselves, then Fex will be with us. The goal is near. Is there anything else I can help you with? I'd love to do that. What would you like to talk about? I particularly enjoy talking about myself. Well, I always was forced to make my way without much money. In doing so, I learned that I can only rely on myself and the wily fox inside me. Nothing is as it seems, and often that which seems to be is more than it is. Don't you agree?
Do you need my help? Now we know that Baron Dajan of Nadaret protects the river pirates and is in cahoots with the harbor master. If we take care of him, I hope to learn more about Coldstone.
What is it then? At least we now know where the crown is. Now we have to strike quickly and get it back. Dajan of Nadaret! Bah! He's in for the surprise of his life.
What is it? The whole thing is very messy. The smugglers, the toll officers, the river pirates, and this Kosh Baron. And then this Coldstone too. Well, it's all too much for me.
Greetings to you again. Maybe it's a sign from the River Father that you've shown up at this very moment. I've been sent to bear witness to another outrage committed by humans. Why on Ethra don't they want to learn? Just look what they're doing over there. They have captured a child of the river and want to sell her now for glittering gold. No, I can only admonish the righteous and accuse the evildoers. That's the destiny of the prophet. It's the heroes who are here to fight against injustice in the world. That's why I believe that your showing up here isn't a coincidence. Please try to liberate her. I know that you've already done it once. As soon as she's free, I'll escort her back to her people to ensure her safety. I promise you that.
Please, help me. I was on the way back to my people. But before I could reach the river, some of those who live on the land saw me. They threw a net over me and brought me here.
Hey, you're not allowed to touch the goods. Interested in this blue beauty? You can bid for her. The auction is about to start. I know the laws, thank you. This thing here is neither a human nor an elf, and it looks nothing like a dwarf. And the ban only applies to those. So beat it before I call the guards. It's against the law to interrupt the work of an honest merchant. I suppose you could look at it that way, but that's just splitting hairs. These water nymphs are not really elves, even if people call them that. All right. I'll let her go, this elf. It was only a misunderstanding.
I'm so grateful to you. You've rescued me for the second time already. And this time, I have nothing to give to you as a reward.
That's why you should get your reward from me. Here, this is a robe like the one Sunul's servants wear. It belongs to you now. The River Father is very pleased with you. These deluded people have been protected from committing new outrages by your rescue of this child of the water. However, I doubt that they will ever thank you for this service. Here, take this. You will probably need it during the trials that still await you. Don't worry, I'll watch over her personally. I wish you a good journey. May the blessing of the River Father go with you.